finishing up my week here in Perth. Just coming back from the city, walking to the hotel, about to go pack all my stuff and head back to Vegas. It's been amazing, for real. I have to say Perth is in my top 5 favorite places to go now, hands down. It might even be my favorite Australian city. It's just so beautiful. It's quiet. I know it doesn't sound quiet right now, but I'm walking on the main road. But like compared to Sydney and even Brisbane, the Gold Coast, it's real quiet. It's a really amazing blend of city, country and beach. Everyone I've spoken to who lives here in Perth, well, not everyone, but a lot of people that I've spoken to who live here in Perth, which actually have all just been my Uber drivers, every single one of them has said that they don't like living here, which I don't understand. They all say that it's way too quiet, there's not much to do here, but maybe coming from living in Las Vegas and there being so much to do all the damn time, that's why I like how quiet it is. But it's been an incredible week. 30 hours flying, it kind of sucked, and I'm not looking forward to doing it going back home. Actually, it's a bit less going home, which is good. Actually, that's a lie. The flights are shorter, but I have longer stopovers in the airports. Whatever, that's fine. I got a lot of work to get done anyway, a lot of writing to do, so it'll be a good opportunity to finish all that off. But yeah, what did I do? So Thursday we did the video with Troy Kinney, which I thought was super funny and everyone seemed to love, and it's really cool being able to work with an Australian comedian. That's one of my favorite things about being able to come back to Australia, is just, you know, getting to see so many locals who are trying to do the same thing that I'm trying to do, and that's just make it in this big bad world. But he was super funny, and I got to spend a bit of time with Dan Kelly, who is probably the most genuine and Aussie dude around, with the exception of Damien Brown. You know, I think those two, out of all the Australian UFC fighters, those two are just the most genuinely Aussie, you know, good countrymen, and I love them. I'm big fans of both. Damien actually is one of my favorite fighters. I know he's been my teammate for a long time. You know, he and I have been friends for years, but every time I see him fight, every new fight I see of his, I just become an even bigger fan. Whether he wins or loses, you know, he just always puts on the best show, and he's just that entertaining. I love that about him, and he's just so unapologetically Australian, which is the best. Anyway, so that was it for Thursday. Friday I had nothing on, so I went to the UFC gym to watch Chris Weidman and John Wayne Parr do their seminars, and that was a lot of fun. You know, obviously John Wayne Parr is an Australian legend and has been doing this for longer than I've even known what combat sports were. So it was really amazing being able to spend some time with him and just, you know, see who he is. Because when you only know people through social media, it's really hard to gather what their personalities are actually like, or what they actually believe in, you know, what they genuinely stand for. And man, he's just the funniest dude. So nice, so humble. You wouldn't think he was a straight killer, but he is. Got the best dad jokes in the business for sure. And I thought my dad jokes were awesome. His trumped me 100%. It was really cool. It was cool hanging out with Chris Weidman as well, because obviously, well, not obviously, but I've never met him before. So this was my first opportunity to meet with him, and it was cool getting to see him, you know, in a I guess from a behind the scenes perspective with all his friends. And his, I guess, the person that I thought he was and the person that he actually is are two completely different things. I only knew him from fights, I guess, and from social media, and my opinion was always that he was pretty serious, and he's just the funniest. Fuck, man, he's so fucking funny. Like we were saying, he needs a reality show, because he is hilarious. So it was really cool hanging out with them and, you know, getting to see how they handle business and how they do their media stuff and what they prioritize, and, you know, how they make this work, because realistically I'm a baby in this sport. I've been doing it for 3 minutes, and they've been here for forever. Not forever, they're not that old, but a lot longer than I've been. It was so cool. Got to spend a bit of time with Hans from Monster, and same thing, like, I've known him since I moved to Vegas, and he's always treated me like family, you know. He always messages me after fights, and like he's been a really good sounding board and a really good source of advice. Plus he's really close with my coach, John Wood, so I trust him a lot. It was great getting to hang out with him and also see how he handles business, because when you only see people from social media, you don't really understand who they are properly. So that was awesome. So Friday was all about that. I didn't have any of my own appearances or media stuff to do, so it was cool. I was kind of just a little fangirl following around the big shots. Saturday was weigh-ins. We did Q&A and a meet and greet with the VIPs, and weigh-ins were cool, man. They were emotional. It was amazing. It was amazing being in the front row, like being able to see all the Aussies do that first hard bit of their job, and, you know, see everyone made weight, everyone seemed in high spirits. The Q&A was fun. Got to do that with Uriah Faber, which was kind of intimidating, because same thing again, not intimidating, but it was like crazy. It was one of those mind-blowing experiences where I'm like, holy shit, I'm standing on stage with Uriah Faber. It was just something that, I don't know, I never really thought was going to happen, but it was really cool. He had some great stories. You can see he's been doing this for a long time, because he was so good at the media stuff and just answering questions off the cuff. So it was great being able to hang with him a bit. And then Saturday afternoon, Chris and I went and did a meet and greet and signings at one of the bars here, the St. George Hotel. And that was awesome. And so I got to meet a lot of people. I got to meet a lot of people who talk to me on social media a lot. So it was really cool being able to put some faces to the names that I see day in and day out. And I just love coming back to Australia. Everyone's so supportive here, especially being an Aussie. Even if you're not an Aussie, like, man, they fucking love, like, they love Chris. But then seeing how people love, like, John Wayne Parr here is amazing. Like, they're, yeah, big shoes to fill for sure. And then obviously fights was Sunday, so we went and did the VIP meet and greet. We had to be there early as balls. I wasn't there for the first fights, but I did get to see Luke Jimmo. I watched him on Fight Pass, and it was so great to see him get another win. And then all the Aussies were amazing. It was sad that Damien obviously didn't get the decision, but it was a really good fight. I like when Mark Hunt walked out. I'm not even particularly a fan of his. Like, I'm not a fan of many people, but I'm not particularly a fan, you know. I enjoy watching him fight, but whatever. But when he walked out, I don't even know what song it was that he walked out to, but I got so emotionally invested because of it. It was just such a perfect song choice, and it was so sad to see him, you know, not come out victorious in that. But that's the fight game, you know. The beautiful thing about it is that nothing's guaranteed, ever. And I have to say, like, the Perth crowd here at the fights were, fuck, man, they were something else. Like, well, there were more people here watching the fights than there were in Sydney, and they were louder than Sydney. Like, the Sydney crowd was incredible, you know, but they've got the fights there before. Like, Perth really proved that it's a worthwhile place to put this on. So, Perth, you're amazing. So now I'm just chilling, waiting for my visa, waiting for my plane. Went and met up with another local girl, Kat, to do a little interview and have coffee in one of the malls, and that was really cool. It's great to see more Aussie women, you know, getting involved. But yeah, that's me. I'm done. Thank you for having me, Perth. You're amazing.